backyard of his house. The dirt would give way and he would fall for what seemed an eternity. In his dream, he knew that if he struck the bottom, he would really die and he would try to wake up. At the last possible moment, he would waken terrified. In this wakeful dream that didn't happen, something tore at his side, and then he came crashing down on a hard floor, knocking the little remaining wind out of him. It was quiet and dark. He was nearly dead, yet alive, down in some sort of chamber under the desert. When he came to in the blackness, it was freezing cold, but there was no more wind. The quiet was complete and encompassing. His exhaustion was so great it felt like his bone marrow had been sucked out, and he was not sure whether he was dreaming or awake. His head was splitting, and there was something sticky on his side that felt like blood. Nick fumbled for his flashlight. He turned it on and let the sand tear from his eyes. What he saw sent his head reeling even more. He had landed in a long, narrow, stone-lined chamber and lay in a pile of sand at one end. As he passed the light along the ceiling, he saw that it was made of smooth log beams that supported a coarse felt padding placed on top of them. Shorter, thicker logs spanned the walls below the lengthwise beams, bearing the weight of the long ones. Several of the long beams had come loose and pivoted downward to the level of Nick's head, only a foot off the floor. Sand had flowed down the incline of these fallen log beams, sealing the chamber from the outside, as it had been for millenniums before. Along the length of the floor ran a channel about 2 feet wide and a foot deep into which some of the sand had flowed. 2 plain wooden boxes, each about the size of a person, lay on the floor along the sides of the chamber. A similar third box had been placed at the far end. Satisfied that he was not in immediate danger, Nick sat up and shook off the sand from his hair and clothes, then stood up and directed the light into the far wooden box. There was no lid on the ancient coffin, and he could see the mummified remains of a young woman inside. Some decomposition had occurred to the upper torso and face. A head strap had been placed under her chin to hold the jaws shut in death.
Whoa, very descriptive. Ladies and gentlemen, my golden audience, now you understand that why I want to invite Mr. Brown coming over here tonight. The story is so descriptive, imaginary, and has such a great meaning. I want to congratulate you for your great work, sir. Yeah, I'm sure you have other story that you want to share with us too in the book, right? Do you want to come and talk about a couple others?
Okay. Well,
I really love the story. I mean, you know, a lot of imagination. You know, it's a great meaning. I'm not going to tell you the end of the story, what it developed it to, so because I want you to read it just like I did. Can you tell us how we can get your book, sir?
Well, it's on Amazon.com.
Amazon.com?
It's now available in Europe as well. So,
oh, really? Congratulations.
Yeah, so
and I'm not surprised.
It's also in Kindle edition.
Okay. How can we access to it? By the name Journey to Suzanne or
yes.
J.T. Brown?
Well, the easiest way is to go to Amazon.com, and in the search field, you just type in Journey to Suzanne.
Okay.
And it'll come out.
Journey to Suzanne. C-H-E-R-C-H-E-N.
Yes.
Journey to
exactly
Suzanne. And thank you.
So you can order it from there.
Okay. Well, you know, if you want to read one of my stories in Happy Life book, I have 68 stories. And you have to go to YouTube, or not YouTube, but Google.com, type in T.S.Chin, or just type in T.S. Chin, T-S-C-H-I-N, and Google it, and then I think it linked you to Amazon.com as well. And I'm selling Happy Life book, and I think both of our books are great gifts for happy holidays.
Excellent gifts. Yes.
Excellent gifts. Okay, good. Well, you know, I know that I read your book, and you read my book too. Can you tell my audience what you like or what you dislike about the Happy Life book?
Well, what I like about it is it's a positive and uplifting book. I think that it would be nice to have one maybe in a doctor's office and or in like physical therapy centers and people recovering from long illnesses, and it's something encouraging. That's just one of the many places you might find it. And I think you said that it's also been sold to prisons as well.
Oh yes, yes. Well, we had a couple organizations in Richmond, Virginia, purchase Happy Life book and shared it with some prisoners. And Doris Buffett, the older sister of Warren Buffett, she also purchased 300 books from me and shared with some prisoners in New York City. And she endorsed my book. So I'm honored about that. In the meantime, and the main reason that I write the book, other than serving the old and the ill, is that to inspire our younger generation to continue to learn by helping others with the age, having a positive attitude. And it turned out to be more and more elder and mid-aged people loving my book so much more. But I certainly hope that maybe we can, buy this book and share it with our younger generation, because many readers that they told me this book can help, our younger students and children, and to inspire them, with respects and love, sharing love with the family and friends, and understand the situation better, and find more patience, work harder in school, and more importantly that, it's hard for me to sell my own book because it's my own writing. So
well, I can add a few things.
Okay.
Like people are so busy these days. You go through the day, in a whirl, and this helps you to focus on the important things. That maybe it's slipped your mind. So the 9 principles, a happy life, are just they're just sort of concentrated, and they focus your attention on those things. So that's another thing I like about your book.
Thank you.
Also, I found it's interesting for someone like me, because I'm curious about China and the people. And Chin tells about when he was growing up until he was 16, I think.
When I first came to this country,
yeah,
without knowing any English.
So at first you lived in China, and then you had to move to Hong Kong for a period, I think.
Right.
And then how he lived with his mother, and was that just
my father came to this country.
Your father was already here.
Yeah.
Establishing himself and making way to bring the family over.
Right.
And so I found that very interesting, and that in itself is inspiring. To the sacrifices the family had to make, and
yes, well, and also that because that I was living in Hong Kong, and I love to read. I may not be a writer since childhood, but I love to read. I read all kind of stories, newspapers, and all that. I learned a lot of ancient wisdom, especially I learned it from my mother as well, and I incorporated with the modern philosophy. And when you, ladies and gentlemen, incorporating 2 different cultures, West and the East, and you learn from the best of it, this is going to be a great book for the family too. That's my opinion. And also, I want to thank a few people. There's many, many more, not just a few, but for the one that they already comment or maybe doing some book reviews since I put my book for sale on Amazon just a matter of a few days ago, and gave me favorable comments and reviews about the Happy Life book. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you have a chance, will you please kindly and go to Amazon.com, look at T.S.Chin, the Happy Life book, and read the comments or leaving book reviews and comments about the Happy Life book. The purpose of the book is to try to help other people. And one good line that I describe about helping is that helping ourselves by helping others is the key to a happy life. So, and I want you to know that my heart is helping others, and now I'm feeling I'm much more rewarded than before I wrote a book, because the book itself really helped me to make me a better person as well. And when I am down, just like everybody else, you all have good times and bad times in life, and I read my own book to inspire myself. And so if it can help me, I'm sure that it can help you. And this book We sold 3,000 copies in Richmond, Virginia. And I want to thank you for my readers. And Ms. Doris Bradford purchased 300 books to share with the prisoners, professors, and friends in New York. And I want to thank her. And Mrs. Silvestri of Richmond Times-Dispatch wrote a story, an article about Happy Life. So it's Qingdao newspaper, the largest newspaper in America, the Chinese newspaper in New York City, called Qingdao. They wrote an article about the book. And all the support from my readers and my family. And thank you, and hope that we all can share the message of happy life, because we all can live a happy life by helping others, have a positive attitude, be patient, passionate with what we do, and yes, believe in ourselves, saying yes, we can. Continue to share our love to family and friends. Understand how important of improvement. Understand the fairness. We must be, fair in life, and understand the importance of education while we are learning and teaching how we can unhappy. So all these are very basic, the principles, and it's nothing new. We all just need to be reminded. Will you agree with that, sir?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. And also, before we close, you have any comments and share with our audience, or maybe your readers, once again, what inspired you to write, and how you inspire your readers and our audience to begin their writings.
Well, now you're talking about writing in general?
In writing in general. I mean, people need to write, because I think this is important, because I get contact with a lot of younger generation. They're doing a lot of texting right now. So writing, I think, is a good practice form. Not only remembering our culture, able to communicate, give them time to think. So give me a little short verse and wisdom, how we can, why writing is good form.
Well, it does teach you to organize your thoughts.
Okay.
It's now I know other writers and other poets and slammers as well, that you can write something, if something's bothering you, you can get it off your chest. And there are poems, especially, and slam poetry, that's good for getting it out. But also, there's different types of writing, and so you can make it political commentary, or whether it's creative fiction or just something inspirational. Sometimes it's something that transcends daily experience as well. So there are many aspects to it, and so
there's a lot of meaningful
a good thing.
And good thing of writing. And more importantly, I want to thank you so much for coming to join our So Happy Life today. And once again, my good friend J.T. Brown, he wrote the book that I love to read, and I still enjoy reading it from time to time. This is a great book. And we can find it on Amazon, Journey to Chrétien, C-H-E-R-C-H-E-N, and or you have an email address to share with my audience?
Well, my email is jtb@jthomasbrown.com.
Okay.
Also, I have a website, if you just want short stories and poetry, audiotale.com, and it also connects to other poetry events in Richmond, River City Secrets, and others. So it's a good source for information.
Thank you so much. Once again, we thank you so very much, and you have a good night, sir.
Thank you, Chin. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. We thank you for our audience, and watch this very meaningful and productive show, and join us. And next week we will talk about happiness again, because holiday is coming close, and Merry Christmas. In the meantime, you all have a great night. Thank you so much watching Happy Life. Good night.
Good night.
You did a great job, man.
Thank you.